Did anybody watch The Acolyte? Oh my god, The Acolyte. It's exhausting. I only really clearly, like, I feel like I can only really talk about the last couple of episodes because so many of the episodes I just fell asleep, and I don't know if that's because of being a new mom or this series is just, like, unwatchable and just puts everybody to sleep. I don't know. I don't know if you guys tried to watch it. It's Amanda Steinberg? Amandla. What kind of a name is Amandla? It's so stupid. She's horrible. She has no range as far as acting goes. She didn't even have to audition for the part. Leslie Headland, who this is her fault. Leslie Headland, I guess this is her baby. Acolyte cast her just for the role. She didn't have to audition. She didn't even have to read. Nothing. She just created the part for her. So you figure, wow, this she must really be something special if she just gets a part written for her. But no, I don't know. Maybe she just had like a big lesbian crush on her. That's the only reason I can think of to explain why she got the part. Ryan Bannon. Will Leslie Headland make an appearance on FNT? Maybe Amandla. I've thought about this. Not that I don't have the nuts to pull off blackface, but you might. You might see one of them on Friday. I will not spoil it. I won't spoil it. Um, but I want to do some kind of character because it's been a minute. Do blackface, says Junior. Oh God, I do own a lot of bronzer, and I do own a lot of like bronzing lotions, but I've never really sat down to see how far I could go. Like most of us, we haven't sat down and just, put blackface on. Or it would be bronze face. Mm. You'll need a prosthetic chin if you try and LARP as lesbian headlamp. Let's see. What does she look like? Leslie Headland. Okay, she do have a square jaw. Holy moly. Yikes. Poof. She looks like a very ugly Gina Carano. Yikes, 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 and gadzooks. I'm gonna pull up some pictures. I mean, if one were even to attempt to impersonate. Yeah, doesn't she look like an ugly Gina Carano? This. She's got okay, and I've seen a lot of pictures of this look, like the greased back mullet with grandma glasses and a this cotton candy blazer. Ugh, not good, not a great look. Yeah, she's kind of like she's always like, if I were to practice her face, she's like, I would just try to make a double chin. Okay. No, she's not a cute woman. She she maybe had a couple of cute moments throughout her life, but like maybe here she was cute when she was working for Harvey Weinstein. But no, she is not in her cute moment right now. News. She's breaking down the first season finale. Oh, what does she have to say? This is from oh God, that's even worse. Oh, are you gonna make me buy GQ just to read this? Look, there she is directing with her coffee and her big jacket. Ugh, now she's got long hair. Her hair's different every time I see her. Oh God, she breaks down the first season finale. That means there's gonna be another season. Oh, help us. Ryan Bannon, all I got from the last episode of The Acolyte, Leslie Headland considers beavers the most morally evolved of all species. She definitely wants to subvert the patriarchy. I think The Acolyte is her way of just like giving the middle finger to the patriarchy because for her, the Jedi represent the patriarchy, and she, I think, wants to just take all of that down, knock out the foundation of what people liked about Star Wars, the original trilogy, which I think is like the baseline. Like that's Star Wars for most people is the original trilogy, and then you can debate like, okay, the prequels, the sequels, whatever. That's just what I think of. And this is now just such a bastardized version of it. Like I heard Leslie talking about it. She was like, the like Star Wars, it's not really about like who can be a Jedi. It's all about like discovering yourself. It's almost like she thinks the white man is gatekeeping what it means to be a Jedi or something like that. Gah. Russell Hall, Leslie Headland has a nice face. Has a face like an engine block. What's an engine block? Something with a train? Whatever it is, I agree. Okay. But oh god, there's gonna be a second season. Ugh, great. I'm so looking forward to that. Headland talks Fight Club homages. What's next for May and Osha and the stranger and the iconic guest star who left her starstruck. The season the show was really all over the place. Okay, so it's about basically like two twins, May and Osha. That's there's like it goes back and forth between like two little girls who I think are twins to Amanda Steinberg or Stenberg, who does like a horror. She has no range. She's just like her playing twins is like this, like, huh? What? It's just it's sad. I don't know what the big fuss was with this woman. But basically, we learn in the last episode that they're not actually real twins because they come from this lesbian witch coven. It was just like a lesbian planet that they're from, and all the witches live in like an industrial, hollowed out fucking mountain thing. I don't know. Used to be an old mill or something that repurposed inside of a mountain. I don't know. I was half listening when they were explaining it, and there's no men around, and they're all just in capes and shit, and humming and chanting, and a lot of dark clothing, and there's like not a lot of fun or laughing happening. It's just like a lot of women together by themselves with no men. Shit gets like serious and mopey real quickly. And shit can get toxic. And I think that's exactly what happened here. You need like men around to kind of like lighten things up, I think. So anyway, lesbian witches. I don't know how these women, the two girls were created. The Squid Game guy, the lead guy from Squid Game. I can't remember his name. He's like the lead Jedi in the Acolyte, and he spills the beans. He's like, "Oh well, you guys weren't birthed. Like you were created from magic. You're not real twins. You're not even sisters. I don't know. They're created through scissoring. I don't know." He didn't really explain how they were created, just through manipulation of the force, which now anyone can have at any time without any training. It's just, and of course, like we see earlier on in the season, they test the midichlorian levels of the girls, and of course, oh, they're off the charts. It's like it's not even exciting anymore when you hear that. It used to be like, oh wow, it's just really it's a special thing. Only very few people have off the charts midichlorian levels, but it's like, yeah, of course. Okay, all right. Surprise, surprise. The girls have really high midichlorian levels. Roll out the friggin' red carpet. Um, and then one of the girls there's like a good and evil twin. Osha's like the good twin. She wants to become a Jedi. Although I don't know how she would have even heard of the Jedi. She lived such a they live such a sheltered life, and they're like lesbian, basically Hal Cavern there. They live out in like a hollowed out mountain hole. I don't know how she would have heard of the Jedi. But anyway, she really wants to be a Jedi. And then you have the evil, kind of like bad, not evil, the bad twin, May. She's the one who in the beginning she's like, no, you can't leave to become a Jedi. Like the mom was gonna let her leave to become a Jedi. And the sister's like, no. The sister's like being like a twat and wanted to hold her back, and accidentally / on purpose lit her basically, I don't know, I guess it was a pamphlet she got from the Jedi, like, welcome to being a Jedi, an instruction manual. It was something she got from Squid Game guy, and then the bad twin lit that on fire and then ends up being a thing that engulfs the whole place in flames and like everybody dies and it's all May's fault. And then we learn that Squid Game Jedi guy, he basically had a choice to like he couldn't, there was a scene where like they're engulfed in fire and the girls are like, no. And of course they're on like a classic bridge that's split in half. They're on like this classic bridge that's split in half. And like one girl's on one side, one girl's on the other side. And they're like, me, oh shit. And then we don't realize that like in the background is Squid Game guy and he's like force holding the two sides of the bridges open. And then at the last second, he drops the side of the bridge with like the bad twin on it, May, and just holds Osha and then runs up and like saves her at the last minute because he weirdly had a connection to her. He, throughout this whole series, he's like, oh, I just want the best for Osha. But like he kind of just decided it himself. And the other Jedi chick was like, well, it's not your job to decide what's best for her. And he's like, I just think she has potential. I don't know. She probably would have been better off with the Jedi instead of, she's got more of a future with them. Rather, if she had stayed in like living in Lesbian Mountain, what are you going to do? It was depressing. It was dark. Again, there's no men around. That's not where I would want to live. Didn't Chrissy try a lesbian witch cult once? Don't we all? We all go to college and have experiences. So, where was I? This is again, please don't like come to me for a thorough review of this or anything. If you're like a nerd and want a lot of details, you're not going to get that from me. You're going to get a lot of like vague recollection and like, I don't remember a lot of it because again, I was asleep through most of it. But anyway, it turns out that anyway, I think Leslie Headland writes this whole show because she wants to make it seem like the Jedi are not all good. That it depends on your position. It depends on how you look at it. Like they just kind of bastardize the whole thing and ruin it, in my opinion. But yeah, I was going to talk about this Leslie Headland thing here. What are her thoughts on it? I'm really not looking forward to a second season. Ooh, in the last moments of the Acolyte season finale, the stranger, not the stranger you're all thinking of. Get your minds out of the gutter. Manny Jacinto. Oh, and this is very diverse, by the way. If you couldn't guess, what a diverse cast. Oh my God. They should win awards just for diversity. A Sith and his new recruit, the former Jedi Osha, which is Amandla Stenberg, stand side by side. She's holding a lightsaber. Oh, and in the end, the good twin, Osha, ends up sort of turning to the dark side and decides to become like the apprentice to this stranger guy, Manny Jacinto, who some of the guys on FNT called Smilo Ren because he has a helmet and it looks like there's just like teeth forming a weird smile. And apparently the helmet is like a sensory deprivation helmet. So all you can feel is like you in the force. Sounds gay to me. And Osha turned to the dark side because May, the other twin, told her like, hey, this Jedi guy that you were looking up to throughout your whole childhood, like Asian Squid Game guy, what the fuck's his name? I don't remember. He actually killed our mom. So there. So she kind of loses herself and she turns to the dark side. And now we're set up for season 2. Blech. Anyway, so she decides to train with this stranger guy. His hand closes around hers almost tenderly. Oh yeah, that was like vaguely sexual. I didn't like it. The camera lingers on their silhouettes. Creator Leslie Headland describes this as her Fight Club moment. In the world of Star Wars, I really own up to my homages. Headland says. So I will own up to the fact that the last shot of the show is the last shot of Fight Club. It's the same shot. Oh, you're so cool, Leslie. Well. In David Fincher's 1999 film, Edward Norton's narrator, who's been Tyler Durden all along, or vice versa, holds hand with Marla, played by Helena Bonham Carter. and they watch through a high-rise window as neighboring office towers begin to explode. The Acolyte doesn't feature a Pixies track, and the vista that the stranger and Osha are facing looks a lot more peaceful, but Headland sees a clear parallel. I don't at all see a parallel to Fight Club. Ugh. I think she's just trying to seem cool. The reason I wanted to do it is because that comparison to me represents a standing together, a simple intimacy in front of the world burning down, and the dramatic irony and tragedy of Osha and the stranger that we is that we know they won't do that. Headland explains. The last episode of the first season of Headland's entry into the Star Wars canon. No, it's not going to be canon. It is not. Is layered with tragedy even beyond that image. Osha learns from her former Jedi master. Yes, Master Soul. That Squid Game guy, Lee Jung Jae. Had been deceiving her for years in what he believed was an attempt to protect her. Upon hearing that Soul killed her mother, the Force Witch. Ah, yes, Force Witches. That's another word for lesbian. Anicia Jodie Turner Smith. Osha murders Soul herself. Ooh, yeah, she did that. She did that. She really broke bad there, Force choking him to death as he attempts to share his paternal love for her. That would have been funny. And then at the end, she should have received all the Squid Game money. Like the whole globe full of cash should have just been gently lowered down for her. Knowing that the Jedi are now pursuing her, Osha agrees to let the stranger train her. Like, they couldn't do better than naming this guy the stranger. It's just stupid. As an act of further protection, the stranger wipes the memory of his former disciple, Osha's twin, May. So when she is apprehended, she will not be able to disclose any information. At the beginning of the Acolyte's first season, May was the furious warrior trying to systematically kill the people that were responsible for her isolation. So at first, May was the bad one, and she was trying to kill all the Jedi, and she was successful. She had killed a couple of people. She had force skills. Osha was like the good one. Osha, on the other hand, still believed in the Jedi, even though she turned away from the group. By the end of the finale, they've essentially swapped personas. It felt right that if Osha was going to embrace the dark side and her rage and being heartbroken, that May would become incredibly docile, basically. Yeah, but docile is not the opposite of bad. Good would be the opposite of bad. I don't know. But it sets the stage for another transformation. May is now a Jason Bourne type figure trying to discover her. You're giving yourself too much credit there, darling. Also, like Bourne, like the Bourne, like that was actually a good movie with good characters. Also, like Bourne, she has a set of skills she may now be unaware of. It's ultimately a bittersweet conclusion to the season. It also puts the viewer in the position of cheering for the dark side. No, I wasn't. I was cheering for it all to be over. I was cheering for no season 2. So I'm not cheering at all. Headland says she wanted to answer the question, how can we have someone embrace the dark side without being tricked into it? Without stripping her of agency. I'm just waiting for this article to say Black Girl Magic. I can't believe they haven't said it yet. Helen was eager to offer a contrast to a classic Star Wars narrative. When Luke Skywalker discovers the truth about Darth Vader, he responds with forgiveness. Osha responds to her betrayal with ruthlessness. And yet it's hard not to identify with the ultimate pain she feels in that moment. Soul has good intentions in his desire to protect Osha, but ultimately was the cause of her loneliness. I don't know. She wanted to join the Jedi when she was little. It was her dream. So she was going to leave her mother anyway and never see her again. That's what happens when you get recruited to the Jedi. You bounce. So I mean, yeah, of course it's sad. Your mother died. She was killed, but like she kind of made her choice to leave the lesbian witch coven anyway and be a Jedi. It gets at a central theme of the series. To Headland, the Jedi are extremely flawed. They've always been, just like men in the patriarchy. In the world of the Acolyte, you understand why the dark side is alluring to someone like Osha, who realizes she's been lied to her whole entire life. She's a victim. It's not just because of Jacinto's cheekbones and biceps, although it's that too. Ugh, he's not that good looking. When she's introduced to the "if evil, why hot" meme. What? I have not seen this meme. Ugh, this is gonna be cringe. Oh god, this is horrible, but I'm gonna show it to you anyway. So TikTok is, of course, doing its thing. So this is, I guess, a Acolyte meme. Wait, wait, wait. I hate how the friggin' TikToks start before I'm ready. Okay? Don't start till I'm ready to talk about it. They just start right away. The feminism and moral compass leaving my body when Queen Mayr took off his mask. Oh, are they trying to say he was good looking? Oh, TikTok. You've done it again. TikTok is making us all dumber. I really believe that. Okay. Brrrr, what happened? Okay, okay. Add. The dark side's sexy. No, it's not. He comes off kind of greasy, if anything. So where do these two crazy kids and their lightsaber go from here? Headland is cautious about telegraphing too much about the future of the Acolyte, which has not been renewed for a second season. There's still hope. But she does say she wants to move forward in time as she explores this relationship. To me, it's so tragic, she says. It's very gothic in a lot of ways. One to crave the power, one to hold it. Hopefully, that image gives you the sense that they are equals, but at some point, in order to fulfill this, they can't be. What? She also notes then there's this complication of our dear friend Plagueis. That would be the Sith Lord Darth Plagueis, who's mentioned in the prequels as a historical figure and makes his first on-screen appearance in the Acolyte finale. Canonically, he's notable for attempting to manipulate the Force to create life, something we've seen Anissa do successfully in the Acolyte for mentoring an apprentice named Sheev Palpatine. I would look forward, Headland says, a Plagueis to seeing him actively disturbing what they're trying to do. That seems pretty ham-fisted to me to just throw him in there. Again, it's like it just seems like Headland is just doing whatever the fuck she wants, but then throwing in these little references to seem cool and like, see, it's down with Star Wars. See, it makes sense. We're putting Darth Plagueis in there. Oh, I'm cool. I'm a good storyteller. I have references to Fight Club in there. I just don't think that's enough. Perhaps as an alternative for Osha and the Stranger, there are plenty of options besides being a Sith and an apprentice and a master. Beyond Plagueis, Acolyte finale also teased another extremely familiar Star Wars figure. After the Fight Club moment, we cut to black and then to Jedi Vernestra, Rebecca Henderson, walking into a meeting with a certain tiny, white-haired green guy. Oh, Yoda. Introducing Yoda at this point in the story just made sense. In Vernestra's effort to protect the Jedi, Helen said at some point she would have to inform her superior. Oh, another point was I guess Vernestra is like the green-headed other lesbian Jedi chick, and she kind of covers for Master Soul and like kind of makes up a story for why he died. I don't know. To show how flawed the Jedi are. The diminutive Jedi Master is the first iconic Lucas-era Star Wars character to show up in the series. Working with him made Headland feel starstruck. Wait, is there like a little man actor behind Yoda? I mean, aren't they using like a doll or a machine or something? A rare occurrence for her. I could barely speak. Maybe it is a little actor. I had nothing to say. Everything I've ever felt about Star Wars just rushed back to me. It was overwhelming. Who plays Yoda? Oh yeah, that's Manny Jacinto. He is not sexy. Sorry. He looks too delicate. He looks too K-pop for me. How Manny Jacinto brought sexy back to Star Wars. First of all, Star Wars was never sexy, but that's not why people watch it. Ugh, he looks wet here. Why does he look wet in this shirt? Does anybody else think he looks wet? And again, Amanda Stenberg gets her own article in GQ. She's so overrated. Stop trying to make Amanda Stenberg happen. It's not going to happen. She looks like a tool. Okay. Bye. Star Wars was sexy back in the day. Oh, right. I mean, I guess if you found Han's sexy, maybe. That's about it. That's about it. Okay. Ooh, good luck. Quartering is at the RNC, and he might get a chance to talk to Trump tomorrow. That's really cool, Jeremy. Good luck. Good luck. I hope that's fun. Oh yes, okay, fine. You're right. That was a sexy moment when Leia was in the slave girl outfit. Okay, I'll give you that. Han could get it. He was kind of an asshole though, but some people like that. Some people like an asshole. You know what I think is funny though? These reviews on IMDb. Okay, I will read a couple of these IMDb reviews on the Acolyte because they made me chuckle. Ooh, this is laughably bad writing and direction. 2,000 people found this helpful. Jar Jar Binks was a museum masterpiece next to this. Misa no like it, this do. I mean, seriously, what were they thinking? Have they even watched what they produced? The acting and writing are horrible. They have completely destroyed this franchise. I mean, come on, isn't it hard to make entertaining Star Wars? There are like thousands of stories surrounding this universe. They could just copy the story of the old Republic and have the most successful modern day Star Wars story with this production budget. But nope, seems like they think they can do better with some teenage soap opera. Do they even have a passion for Star Wars? And even if it's to recover the cost of purchasing the license, you can't even milk the franchise with such low quality efforts. I do not recommend this. You have a much better time putting Jar Jar Binks scenes on a loop. Garbage. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I can already tell whoever created this has no respect for the Star Wars universe. Who said that the Jedi only pull their weapons when they're ready to kill? Right, they duel with the friggin' sabers all the time. And if this girl is Sith, then she is dumb to just approach one on a bar. The director is obviously misinformed and doesn't know anything about Star Wars. This show will ruin everything if it continues. It needs to be canceled. Characters are weak. None of them show Jedi traits. Let's just bring back the cartoons to see how Star Wars was supposed to be done. Painful. How can it get this bad? This is funny. Take one of the most exciting and expansive fictional universes with iconic characters and storylines and just tear it up without respect to its original mythos, lore, etc. That's the path of destruction that Disney has been on, save Andor, Rogue One, and to an extent, The Mandalorian. It's sad because I'm sure a lot of talented professionals worked on this. Well, it's not their fault. It sucked. Tragically, the writing and acting is truly terrible. Special effects are great, but that's not enough to compensate. I defended it until the end. Why? Did they? Did any of the producers, directors actually ever watch the original Star Wars trilogy? I'm so confused by this snorefest. No, I don't think they did. There's no connection to canon. That they didn't want a connection to canon. That's like they got off on that. I don't care about these characters at all. Is this supposed to attract female viewers like me? Because if that was the aim, it's a monumental fail. You know what attracts females to Star Wars? The same thing that attracts men. Good writing. Is that so incredibly difficult? Do these writers ever put interesting storyline in their top 10 goals for a script? You know what it is? I think people like Leslie Headland, they don't like the fan base of Star Wars. And so they want to make something that's going to turn off the original fan base. And they also think it's going to turn on a completely different fan base, but that's not happening. You're not attracting like new people, new fans to the franchise. Not like this. Because if you want to attract, I mean, women are not going to watch this. Like, women are mostly all on Instagram or TikTok or watching like Hoarders or watching the Kardashians. Like, they're not going to watch a Star Wars show. I'm just speaking in sweeping generalities. And you're going to turn off the core audience, which they've done. Do these writers even put interesting storyline in their top 10 goals for a script? This is just another insult to the Star Wars crammed with obvious messaging. Avoid anything else. I'm so sick of it. Except for some good lightsaber combat, the series isn't that good. The storyline is so long. I've watched episode 7. I feel like I was rewatching episode 3. Please stop doing that. The series is redundant. No punch, only things we have already seen in the show. Nothing good in the show is the Sith, strong and dangerous. When I'm watching the show, I feel like we are good nowhere with the show. Please create. Oh, they liked Ahsoka? Ugh. All right. Maybe that guy was retarded. Some good episodes, some bad ones. Complete garbage. I tried to give this a chance, but after 3 episodes, I'm done. It's absolute hot garbage. The producer should never get another gig after this. I made an account just to rate this junk. That's right. I didn't have an account until this morning, but I had to create one so I could warn everyone to stay away from this junk. Banging your head on the wall would be a better use of your time than watching this. Episode 3 was awful. After watching, I quickly got my VCR out and watched the holiday special from the late 70s so I could feel good about Star Wars again. Yes, it was that bad. I was longing for B. Arthur and Harvey Korman to show up and save the show. Witches? Seriously? The Wicked Witch from the West was more enjoyable than these witches. I don't get it. All the money they spend, they can't hire anyone with any talent to come up with something creative. Well, because they'd rather have it be diverse than have it be good. Yeah, it's so disappointing. Worst Star Wars yet. A teenage soap opera in space. That's a very good way to describe it. $180 million for this. That's a lot. The Arthur saved the holiday special. Yay! But we'll talk about it more on F&T this Friday for sure. Oh god. I'm sorry to yawn. Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Come and get it. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.